Ladies and gentlemen, what if I told you that Labour is on the verge of an electoral disaster? That the so-called safe state of Victoria might just hand Peter Dutton his biggest political victory yet? Strap in, because the numbers are in, and they are sending shockwaves through Anthony Albanese's government. New polling from Redbridge Accent, a Labour-friendly outfit, shows that support for the Albanese government is crumbling. Their two-party preferred vote has plunged from 51.4% at the last election to just 43% across key marginal seats. If this holds, Labour could lose up to 8 seats in Victoria, seats like Aston, Casey, Chisholm, Corangamite, and McEwen, all of them slipping through their fingers and straight into the hands of the coalition. And just like that, Labour insiders are already sharpening their knives, pointing the finger at Dan Andrews and Jacinta Allen for the mess they are in. There's no unity, no plan, just panic. But why is this happening? It's simple. Australians are fed up. The cost of living crisis is hitting harder than ever, mortgage stress is through the roof, crime rates are soaring, and health services are in tatters. And when voters look around, they see a government more obsessed with pushing a radical agenda than actually fixing the problems that matter. Let's be real, on economic management, cost of living, housing, crime, and health, Australians trust Peter Dutton and the coalition more than they trust Labour. That's not opinion, that's what the data says. So expect Labour to roll out yet another Medicare scare campaign, expect the media to unleash hit piece after hit piece on Peter Dutton, and expect the same tired playbook we've seen before. But it's not just domestic policy where Labour has failed, it's foreign policy, too. And this is where things get really ugly. 4 months now, the Albanese government has been disgracefully abandoning one of Australia's closest allies, Israel, at a time when it needs support the most. October 7th saw the deadliest attack on the Jewish people since the Holocaust. But instead of standing strong, what did our government do? It wavered. It backflipped. It turned its back on Israel at the United Nations, abstaining from key votes, and even voting in favor of a disgraceful resolution demanding Israel end its so-called unlawful presence in the Palestinian territories. And just when you thought Penny Wong couldn't be any weaker on the world stage, it was revealed that at the UN in September, she refused to meet with Israeli officials, including Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. But guess who she did have time for? Representatives from the Palestinian Authority and Iran, the same Iran that bankrolls Hamas and Hezbollah. Talk about picking the wrong side of history. Now, let's be honest, this isn't going to be the defining issue of the next election. Most Aussies are more concerned about their mortgages, their grocery bills, and their safety. But here's why this matters. It exposes the sheer weakness and incompetence of the Albanese government. When the chips are down, when leadership is required, they fold. Every single time. And that's exactly why Peter Dutton is surging in the polls. Love him or hate him, one thing's clear, he stands firm. He doesn't pander, he doesn't flip-flop, and he certainly doesn't bow to the Twitter mob. That's why the latest polling shows he's ahead of Albanese when it comes to strength, leadership, and shared values with everyday Australians. Think about that, strength and shared values. Those are two things this government severely lacks. Australians don't want weakness in their leaders. They don't want excuses. They want action. And right now, they are looking at the mess Labour has created and thinking, yeah, nah, we deserve better. But here's the real kicker. If Labour's collapse in Victoria is as bad as this polling suggests, Albanese could be heading for an electoral wipeout. Victoria was supposed to be Labour's stronghold, their fortress. If they can't hold the line there, where can they? And that's the million-dollar question. Is this just a temporary slump, or are we witnessing the beginning of the end for Anthony Albanese? The next election could be a reckoning, and if these numbers hold, it'll be a bloodbath. So, what do you reckon? Is Labour done for? Will Peter Dutton be Australia's next Prime Minister? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're sick of the spin, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss a thing. Because one thing's for sure, Australia deserves better.